Hey guys! Hey everybody! Happy Friday. I hope you guys are doing awesome. It's been a day. It's already been a day. Clyde also scratched me up pretty good, so like my arm's kind of killing me. But we're as always, we're gonna wait a few minutes before I start talking so people can like actually access the chat and everything. Sorry that I was a little late. Like I said, it's been a day. Uh, Fingers crossed. I might have already found a place. Fingers crossed anyway. We shall see. Only time will tell if that will actually come to pass. I feel really good about it. I feel like very confident about it. I'm trying really hard to like pull that in to like really manifest it. Hi Jessica. Hi Sam. Hi. Me late too. It's all good. It was meant to happen that way. It was meant to happen that way. Hey Steph. Congrats. Well, fingers crossed. I haven't gotten word yet. But like I said, I feel good. I feel very, very good about it. Um, are you super looking forward to the move? I feel better about the move. Hope that answers your question. I feel better about it. Am I really looking forward to it? I I feel like I'm looking more forward to like stuff that could be happening this year, some travel I'm probably gonna do, some stuff I'm gonna try to work on. Like I'm more excited for that than the move itself. But if I get this place, I'll be very grateful. I'll be very, very grateful. It'll be like the perfect little base camp. So I found an apartment, and it's under budget. It's like, oh my god, it's like kind of sort of affordable, um, and it's small, which is fine. Like I don't, I that's something else I've also come to realize. Like I really don't need a shit ton of space, especially if it's like the right environment. Moving it in itself is really fun. Yeah, exactly. Especially when you have to move far, it's really not that fun, right? Like if I was moving like across island or something and be like, all right, whatever, like I can do that. I can do that in my sleep. Like that's fine. Um, yeah, so it's like it would just be the perfect base camp. Um, but yeah, we'll see. Especially like I said, because I can feel all the travel that's coming up for me this year. It's crazy because last year I had a lot of travel too, and it's like, oh shit, you guys are just gonna have me do this every summer, I guess. Um, so yeah, I feel good. I just feel good about it. Like I saw it come up on one of the apps, the many, many apps that I was looking at to find places, and I was like, okay, price is like kind of there, square footage, meh, but like whatever. I'm probably not gonna buy any furniture. I'm probably just gonna have a mat and just that'll be it. I'll just call it a day. Um, and then when I called, I couldn't get through, but it kept saying available on the site. And then when I finally got through today, she's like, "Oh, we have like 55 people on the wait list." I was like, "What?" And I was like, "But it looks like it's available on your site." And then she looked and she's like, "Oh." She's like, "Our site is weird." And I was like, "Okay." She's like, "Because I have to go to the wait list and call people and all of that. And then if someone gets back to me, then I present it to them. But it is first come, first serve. So since it's posted on the site, if you get in there and you apply, we're gonna look at you first." And I was like, "Really? Before 55 people?" And they're like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah." It's like, "I'll get that done right now." Thank you for telling me. So I did. I finished it. I've never done an application so fast for a living situation before. I was like getting all like stressed. I was like, "Oh my god, do I have that document? Do I have this? Do I have that?" Da, da, da. I was like rushing, rushing, rushing. Which, by the way, probably a good thing I didn't do my taxes yet because this last year was not exactly great for like proving income anyway. So it was just like, and I called her. I'm like, "I did it. Just letting you know. If you have any questions, please call me. Do not hesitate to call me. If there's any weirdness with this whatsoever." I'm so nervous. You're nervous for me. Thanks. Hey Tessa. Hi. That's wonderful. I love base camp. That's a good intention. Yes. Yes. It's like base camp. I need base camp. It's like I know I'm supposed to be kind of all over the place. This I almost said this country. Well, in this country, in the next 6, 8 months, I guess is probably the best estimate between like northwest, central, southwest. I wouldn't even be surprised if I got to go to Canada or Mexico. I wouldn't be surprised if that comes up. Um, did you say where? No, I didn't. I'm sure you guys will not be shocked. It's Sedona. I'm sure that doesn't surprise anybody. Um, but yeah, I just feel good. I just feel good, and I'm just holding on tight to that manifestation, and hopefully I find out in the next few days. Um, but yeah. Yay, so yeah, just got the end of that, but I'll rewatch. Oh, no worries, no worries. Um, Yay for you. Thanks, Chris. Thank you. What did I miss? Oh, potential good news for my living situation. Have you ever thought about Portugal? No, I have not been to Europe. I have not been to Europe, and anybody who knows me, I have very limited international experience, and the one experience I had was recently, which was not great. Feel good and just go with it. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And who knows? I'm not opposed to like, going to other continents and whatnot. Um, and who knows? Maybe I'll end up living in another continent. I don't know, but I know I need a base camp. I knew that. I knew that no matter what, I needed some kind of base camp, especially just for like the stupid logistical business stuff. Like that was the other thing. I'm like, I knew, like I just knew intuitively I need to have it in Arizona, somewhere in Arizona, even if it's not Sedona. I need to have it somewhere there, just because that is where I actually formed the entity and everything. So just make it easier. Plus, like the tax work in Arizona is just way easier than certain states like Hawaii. It's really complicated. California is really expensive. It's like just all these things. And then I also have certain investments that would also make it easier if I was in Arizona to deal with them. It would just be easier. It would just be easiest. And plus, like Arizona is pretty not. It's not central for like the places I'm supposed to go. I'm gonna be doing a lot of grid work basically. God, I'm just like talking up a storm with you guys. I'm gonna be doing a lot of grid work basically. So Arizona would just be a nice little like hub for me to be in, especially because it's also insulated and it's not so crazy chaotic. Like, oh, it's gonna feel so good. It's gonna feel so good to have some like quiet back. I'm gonna miss the ocean terribly. Like I was even thinking, I'm like, is there a way I could like have a base here and then just kind of go to the mainland as needed? But that's what I experienced this last year, and it was hard. It was very hard. It was very expensive. Um, yeah. Just got back from one of those missions. Oh, you did? Nice. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Let's see. Yeah, I'm excited for you. Yay! That's awesome. Very happy for you. And girl, you look so much more relaxed than you did the other day. Well, and it does feel a little bit like, oh, is something falling into place? I've also been just like, all this moving stuff has also brought up a lot, and I have been very stressed out. I was kind of getting to the point where like, you get really stressed out, you start to like disassociate. I was like starting to get there. Like my soul was like, I don't want to be here right now while you're dealing with this. Um, but yeah, I do. I feel good. I also got like sleep last night. I was like, oh, I almost forgot what that was like. Clyde didn't act crazy. He didn't wake me up in the middle of the night. I didn't have super crazy dreams, which is strange because like there was so much energy coming through yesterday and last night that I thought my head was gonna explode. Um, but yeah, sleep was like actual sleep. I woke up and it was like, it's 6? It's not 1? It's not 3 in the morning? What? Oh, I slept. uh, did someone say Lionsgate retreat in Sedona? I might definitely do that. Again, depends on like how things work out with where they put me. Because Washington's on the list, Colorado's on the list, Shasta's on the list. And there have been other ones kind of trickling up too that I got to get to. So I even thought about like renting like a camper van and just kind of like moseying for like a month, but it's actually really expensive to do that. So I'm probably going to like road trip and camp for most of that, most likely with Clyde. In a tent will be interesting. But anyway, I'm not going to worry about those logistics right now. It'll fall into place. It'll fall into place as is needed. Um, Dude, the energy was bearing down yesterday. Yes, it was. It was. I had my head covered most of the day. And the time where I didn't, it was like I literally was just like, I can't stay conscious. I can't stay conscious and functional during this. I feel like I've been wearing rose colored glasses. Something about today. Yeah, something about today feels really good. Like it feels like clarity is here. It feels like there's momentum. It just like things feel like more just like grounded and stable, right? And like I said, the energy yesterday, I feel like that has alleviated today. And I think that's also part of it too, right? When we go through like heavy, heavy energy and shit, And then you like have relief. It's like, oh, oh, I feel so good. Even if you're just like coming back to a normal. Clyde on a road trip sounds so cute. Oh yeah, if me and Clyde road trip for like a month or two at a time, like there will definitely be videos of Clyde stirring the car in a harness. I actually did I get rid of the harness? I might have got rid of his harness. I bought a harness for him when I moved here because the whole being on a plane and stuff, I just didn't want to stress about him getting out and away, you know. And a normal collar leash situation was not going to work for him. So I gotta check if I still have that. But yeah, if we road trip, he'll be right there in the front seat with me, probably sleeping. That's like what he does in the car. He's such a good like car cat. He just chills and sleeps. He doesn't even meow or anything. Today's been great, right from last night's dream space. Awesome. Thanks. Still can't believe it. Let's see. Today feels good. Yesterday was no. Yeah. Agreed. 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 Spring cleaning has been a big message for the last few days. That's definitely been a collective thing too. And I think it has to do with the Virgo energy coming up and even just like this karmic clearing we're still going through. That karmic clearing energy is going to be there for a bit, you know? Um, yeah, speaking of, we're like over 10 minutes in. I should probably start talking about the astrology and getting into it. So let's get into it. So this is for the full moon Virgo, which is happening on March 7th at about 7:40 a.m. East Coast time. So adjust that according to where you are. Now, this full moon Virgo, before even talking about aspects, full moon Virgo cycles are normally a time where we can reevaluate plans. Reevaluate plans and goals, like where are we at? Are we closer to where we were than we were 6 months ago? Especially reflecting back to 6 months ago. Which one was that? That was that September? Oh, September. Oh shit. I just realized, duh, the whole Mars retrograde. So anything that you were excited about before September, before Mars retrograde pre-shadow started, um, anything where you were like, I'm on track to do this and I'm focused on this, and then Mars retrograde hit us and threw some interesting things into our reality. Some of us got some people thrown into our reality, right, to teach us certain lessons relating to all that stuff. And now here we are 6 months later, the post shadow is almost over. I think this is a download, and it's like we can reflect back on that time. What was happening at the end of summer for you? What were you excited about at the end of summer? Did you shelve it? Did you put those excitements and inspirations on the shelf? The things you wanted to focus on, the paths you wanted to take, did you forget about them? Did they get put in the back seat? Maybe it's time to take them off the shelf now and kind of get back to it. It feels like that, like kind of getting back to what we were doing at the end of summer. Um, that's interesting. Yeah. And for those of you where maybe you didn't shelve it, maybe you kept trying, kept trying, kept trying, Mars retrograde probably was like, no. Probably like, stop doing that. We're going to teach you some other things right now. You don't have to be frustrated anymore. Things again, yeah, again, the energy of today, right? Things are more in alignment, and that's that energy of like feeling more aligned, feeling lighter, feeling like there's more movement again. That's just going to keep amping up as we get closer to mid-March, and especially as April comes and hits us, right? Mars retrograde was a trip and a half. It was like when I reflect back on the last 6 months, like the last 6 months for me were dominated by ayahuasca and all the craziness that came with that, and the trip to Peru and the darkness that came out to be dealt with. It was like, it was a little bit of initiation for me. There was all of that. I was also confronted with recognizing that like I have certain dreams and I have certain goals and there are things that I want to do and create, but that I didn't have the space or resources or capacity to deal with them at that time. And it was like, and it's funny because like as I was just talking about this, I'm realizing, oh, I had to shelve some things. Um, and people who are close to me know it's like there's a project I've been wanting to work on for a long time with my site, and it's like I could feel it. It was like, damn, it's not time. Damn it, it's not time. Damn it, it's not time. Damn it, it's not time. Um, but you know, I think that also goes with understanding how to master the skill of planning, right? Especially when you're trying to do things long term, right? That sometimes taking it slow, taking it cautiously, understanding that there is a timing to certain things is really important, right? It's like you don't have to do it all really fast. You don't have to do it today. You don't got to do it in a week or a month. It's like let it have a natural progression, even if you are also investing in time, right? Huge lesson with Mars retrograde. huge, planning and following through, right? There's something else that's coming through. I'm also really open. I don't know if you noticed, I'm really open today. Um, the pressure, the pressure of completion, the pressure of getting things right. A lot of the collective, and when I say collective, I mean all of us here, have also been realizing how much that has actually equated to procrastination, or has added to or enabled procrastination and not being able to follow through, or even like making mistakes that maybe if you took your time and just kind of like went with the flow, or took a more of a higher perspective on things, it wouldn't have gone awry, or you would have seen that like it's okay, it can happen later, right? um Interesting. Communication's been huge too the last 6 months. At least for me, it's been huge. I think it's been huge for the collective in general, right? Like how we stand up for ourselves, how we don't, right? Deeper truths that we've suppressed. Even how we deal with people who lash out at us, how we deal with our own triggers, and how we communicate the honesty around that, right? In a way that where it's like we're not causing more chaos, we're not acting from ego, we're just like recognizing this is where I'm at, this is where they are, and it's okay. Right? Boundaries have been huge in that. And that's not just Mars retrograde, that's also Chiron and Aries activity that we've been having, which is like so much Chiron Aries activity right now. That's kind of helping close out this post shadow. But again, talking about the full moon Virgo is reflecting back to what was going on during new moon Virgo 6 months ago for us. I think it would be a good idea if you guys have journals or anything, if you just remember what was going on at the time, to look back and be like, what was I excited about again? What did I want? What did I want to focus on? And see how you feel about it now. See how you would tackle it now, because maybe the way you were going to tackle it back then is very different than how you would tackle it now. Anyway, full moon Virgo cycles are also typically times where we can establish new habits or close out old ones, especially when we're talking about health in the physical body, because it is Virgo energy. So anything having to do with like your exercise regime. Also, they're telling me spiritual practices. That makes sense with what's going on with Jupiter and Vesta, but I'll get into that later. Spiritual practices, exercise, food. Natural food is such a thing right now. Natural healing remedies is such a thing right now, and that's not going to stop anytime soon either. Discernment is huge. Actually, I got a download as I was making my notes. Hawkeye, like the eye of a bird. Because then I heard eagle eye too, and then I just heard eye, and I was like, okay, it's about the eye. It's about the eye. It's about. Did I almost do this? The eye, the third eye. It's about sight, discernment, and the insight that also comes from that too. It will be highlighted around this time. The other thing that I got was this Earth Mama energy that felt really yummy. Felt very goddess-like, very grounded. There's almost like a honoring and respecting of like Earth goddess energy with this full moon too. How we haven't been doing that, how we have been doing that within yourself, and then of course externally. That could even relate just to nature. Doesn't even have to relate to people. But that sort of fertile empress like energy, are you honoring that? Have you been honoring that? That also is going to tie into all of this like Aries, Chiron, Jupiter energy as it relates to Pallas Athena and Cancer. Pallas Athena is doing a lot of interesting things right now. It's been doing interesting things. I wish more people were talking about it. I want to do a video on it. I just don't know if I got the time and space to right now, but we will talk about it. But that is generally full moon Virgo energy, like what to focus on during those cycles. Full moons is when we change things or end things or reevaluate things and we get clarity. So moving on from that, so some important aspects here. The full moon is conjunct Orcus in Virgo and is also trine Uranus. The fact that we have a full moon trine Uranus, that just automatically there's going to be change. Foreseen and unforeseen. Initiated and just involuntarily exposed. Involuntarily experiencing changes. But there's a positive vibe here where it's like really easily accepted. It's easily accepted. It brings some excitement. And with it working with Orcus, it also brings this like deeper understanding and insight. Orcus is very Plutonian-like in nature. It's like a little mini Pluto. And then the fact that it's in Virgo and it has that level of discernment coming through. Changes that are happening or changes that you want to make, You're going to have a very confident, clear understanding of what these changes mean for you and how to work with them, or the changes you want to make and where it's going to take you, especially when it comes to goals. And I keep getting pulled back to habits. Habits. Some of you, this is even just like the habit of self-talk, the mind, uh, having better taming of the mind. That's interesting that that's coming through that way too. Some of you guys is going to be about your money, because it is Taurus and Virgo energy too, and Virgo does roll debts and losses, while Taurus is about having, like, putting in new seeds for stability and creature comforts and things of that nature. Don't be surprised if home is wrapped up in that for you too. Now, the other thing about Orcus and Uranus working with the full moon, Orcus and Uranus are also working together. They're in a trine. So you have the full moon energy working with Uranus and working with Orcus all together like a little party. This is also part of the karmic clearing energy too, because Orcus is all about karmic justice. There's also a lot of healing to come out of this as well, and it feels very yummy, and I really, really like it. Now, certain themes that might be coming up: education, studies, healing modalities, health, taking risks, money, currency, home. I think I talked about that. The comforts of the material plane, of how we exist materially speaking. I just heard nature with that. Recognizing too the value of time in nature, how much nature really does give us, and working and living more involved with nature. I like that. I like that. This is going to be really yum. This energy is really yummy. This part of the full moon energy, super, super yummy. I wouldn't be surprised if, how do I want to say? How do I want to say this? If there's a lot of really big risk-taking moves that lead to a lot of happiness for people. Okay? There is some fixed star activity that's affecting Orcus, and I'm going to talk about that later. And there's also one affecting Chiron, and I'm going to talk about that later. I just wanted to mention it here. I love when you say yummy energy. It is, like, that feels really gushy to me. That feels very, like, juicy, yummy. I like that Orcus Uranus full moon energy. It feels really good. Because, we've been in a period of time where, like, things have maybe felt kind of out of control. There's been an element of unknown, but this is saying, like, yeah, we got more changes happening, but you know what? It's putting things in order. It's putting things into balance, or it's assisting us to balance out some things in our life, or even relationships. And that to me is, like, very delicious. But again, I keep getting this goddess energy surrounding it, like the nurturing and fertility of, like, goddess energy. They keep saying earth goddess specifically, that we can, like, start to experience more in ourselves because of that. It's just good. Now, here's where things get interesting. I wish I would start feeling delicious and auspicious. Just feel it. Just grab a hold of it through the video and just take it inside. Just grab it and, like, devour it. Now, I was about to talk about Chiron, and I got a really weird wave of energy. Hold on, what was that? People are going to do things their own way. Some of you, I think most of you, respect that. Respect and understand that people have different ways of doing things. Anybody who really struggles with judgment because they judge themselves, right? And so they are going to judge other people. I talked about this literally in the weekly just now, which a lot of stuff that came up in the weekly will be coming up here because the full moon is happening at the beginning of the next week. But yeah, I just got this, like, very judgmental, critical energy. Yeah. Anybody who doesn't respect others for their way of doing things, I feel like there's some painful lessons going to be happening there. If you've been aware of this and, like, you're practicing an acceptance and compassion, understanding, giving people their space to do them, be them, and how they want, I don't think you have anything to worry about. Remember, Orcus is also about karmic balance and justice for wrongdoings. With it working with Uranus, there could be unforeseen events that are kind of like Judgment Day for certain people. And I'm really getting almost like a hammering down on people who are very judgmental and very critical and stuck. Thank you. And stuck in black and white thinking. That's kind of shadowy Virgo. That's shadowy Virgo, right? Shadowy Virgo is right, wrong, and being judgmental about it. Highly evolved Virgo energy is seeing most efficient way, less efficient way, but could still get the same result, right? While Virgo would push the more efficient way and be like, hey, most efficient over here, and let people do whatever the hell they want to do. But shadowy Virgo energy is like, no, this way, and has a rigidity about it. That's interesting that it's coming out like that. Hold on, let me double check one of the fixed stars I was going to talk about. Is it Mizar? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the fixed star right now. Mizar. Mizar is a fixed star that is at Virgo 16 degrees. The full moon is at Virgo 16 degrees. This fixed star is definitely activating the full moon. They're activating each other. They're working with each other. This fixed star is a little interesting because it has a Mars and Venusian nature. It actually sits in Ursa Major, the Great Bear constellation. I think it's at the tail, if I'm not mistaken. It has Mars and Venus nature, which is like very strange when you're looking at fixed stars because it's based off a system called, I can never pronounce it, Ptolemy. And also there's different cultures that have seen the same fixed stars and attributed their own meanings to them based off of what was going on at the time that they were discovered in those respective cultures, things like that, right? For it to have Mars and Venusian energy, when I was doing my research on it, it can go both ways. Where if it's poorly aspected, or in this case, people acting up and acting a fool and like, you know, not balancing out their karma and all that shit, could lead to destruction, could lead to fall of abundance, fall of status, fall of influence, or it could be the total opposite, where you could actually like get a boost in a lot of that, like be rewarded and gifted. It also represents marriage, which is also like, you know, relates back to the Mars and Venusian influence. I think that's actually more in like in Hindu astrology where they look at, and I think they call it something else. Yeah, I'm going to mispronounce it. Vasistha, I think is how they pronounce it. As a counterpart to Alcor, another fixed star that is referenced there. But yeah, in Hindu astrology, it's looked at as a fixed star that's related to marriage and the union of masculine, feminine. And then in Chinese astrology, it's actually referred to as like prosperity, rank, and influence, kind of similar to what it is, you know, seen at generally speaking. But that is what is working with the full moon Virgo, which is working with Uranus and Orcus. Changes in events that will balance karma one way or the other. And learning lessons, right? That's also part of that too. So if you feel someone's judging you, even if they never say anything, don't worry about it. Let them go about their business. They're choosing a path. Karma will play out as it needs to. I'm not saying you're wishing anybody ill or anything like that. I'm just saying don't worry about it. Because something else that's been coming up too that came up a lot in the weekly was like this energy of being witnessed really for your true light, being witnessed really for who you are, and maybe even like the struggles that you've been through. And so some people might have a very sobering kind of like eat and crow kind of a moment of like, oh, I misjudged that person because they were so high in their judgment, right? So don't worry about it, especially if any of these people try to compete with you. Whatever, don't worry about it, okay? Maybe link to this energy with double-minded people outside the gazebo. Oh, absolutely. And I think some of you guys might be very shocked that some of these people might be, might portray themselves as very spiritual people. When, I'm not saying they're not, but that maybe they portray themselves a certain way when really they're just not that, they're just not that, right? They want to portray a certain image, even if that's not really who they are. That was an interesting download that just came in. Wow. Anyway, sorry, moving on. Moving on. Chiron. Let's talk about Chiron. I keep hoping that the gateway literally whisks me away. Honestly, some people might feel that way. Like, there might be so many changes that like within 2 months you're like, is this my life? Where am I? Who are my friends again? who is this person in my bed? Like, literally, like, that's the kind of changes we're going through. I think I've entitled this last week as, like, anything can happen this week. And with this full moon Virgo, same kind of thing. Anything can happen this week, but it's not as, like, crazy. It's not as, like, bleh. There's something much more grounded about it. There's more ease and grace with it, even if there's fast movement with it, right? Don't forget, Uranus is at work. Uranus is unpredictable. It's going to throw people in your life, take people out. It's going to force you into different locations. It's going to force changes at work. It's going to force changes within your family, within yourself, within your body. Taurus and Virgo, like your body might go through some serious changes during this full moon. Yeah, you might not recognize, some of us might not recognize our life in 2 months and realize, oh yeah, we did go through. We did go through the gateway. I see it. I actually can see it now. So I'm excited. There's a lot of excitement and giddiness around this full moon. But coming into these next aspects that are kind of interesting here. So all this Aries energy, man. Chiron in Aries at 14 degrees. Jupiter in Aries at 13 degrees. Vesta in Aries at 12. We literally have 12, 13, 14 for these different placements. I embrace it and I am ready for my new life. Made huge changes with how I handle toxic family this season. All for that. All for that. Like your hat. Wait, let me see. Oh, how cute. That's cute. Who is this person in my bed? Hey, I'm just saying. I've had so many like messages come through, and I've even just seen them come through in different like readings I've seen of just like suddenly new people just show up. Suddenly new people are just in your life. And that also could translate to the people that have been in your life suddenly are different versions. I think I spoke about this last time actually, where it's like, you're not the same Adam that I've known. You're a different Adam. You're a different timeline Adam. I don't know you, but I know you. Just throwing a random name out there. So some of you guys might experience that. Like you might even see like the change in someone's like face, in their energy. Like their eyes may even look different. Their face may look different. Sorry, so many things just came up. Some of you guys may be dealing with shapeshifters. Not saying that's bad or good, just is. Some of you may be dealing with shapeshifters. That's interesting. I'm also having a personal epiphany with that, about somebody in my life. Huh, okay. Anyway, there's that. But Andromeda and Sirius just came up too at the same time. Some of you guys may be having stronger connections at this time, or more emphasized connections to Andromeda and Sirius. There's a reason for that, because astrologically there's a lot going on there. One of the fixed stars is actually, I think it's the one that's, thank you, they're reminding me. It's the one that's working with Chiron. Chiron is working very close to a fixed star that is part of the Andromeda system. And then Sirius, it's at Cancer 14 degrees. Pallas Athena, the asteroid that's causing all kinds of shit, is sitting at Cancer 12 degrees. And it's getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. That energy is very prominent. A lot of feminine energy coming out of that too, because of Cancer, and also with Andromeda, a lot of feminine energy. But let's move on. What was I saying? Chiron, Jupiter, and Vesta all working together. Chiron is also very kind of slightly conjunct Venus. Venus is at 18 degrees, Chiron's at 14, and literally the next day it's like, I would even argue this is like not close enough to really say it's a conjunction worth looking at. But just so you know, this is playing a part, and because there's so much feminine energy revolved around this, and relationship stuff revolved around this, I thought it was important to note. But having Jupiter working with Vesta, before we even touch on Chiron, that's a really amazing energy to get way more connected to your own sense of purpose, your own like sacred flame, the thing that makes you feel alive in life and thirst for life and passionate for life, things that you want to live for, right? Things you want to work on. I'm getting flashback again from 6 months ago. Again, September, August, reflect back, pull some dreams off the shelf, revisit some goals. They're much more doable now because you've learned the lessons from Mars retrograde, and full moon Virgo is giving you discernment and clarity, and also balls to make some risks here. But coming back, so Jupiter with Vesta, this deepening and enhancing of our connection to our own calling, our missions, our sacred purposes. Again, the things that make us feel like we want to go ahead and live life that light us up, not take away our light, and not drain us. Spiritual practices may even become more emphasized here as well, just because speaks to that, and then Vesta also kind of speaks to that. Now, Jupiter also gives a higher mind. It actually broadens your perspective. It opens up your consciousness to yourself, to your sacred flame, and what has inhibited you from embracing either as it's working with Chiron. Okay? Now, Venus conjunct Chiron, like I said, it's very weak, but this also highlights the emphasis of relationships. Excuse me, how relationships have played a role in any mirroring that's going on to show you this about yourself. So, just to paraphrase, your calling becomes even more important, even louder. You feel more connected to it, more driven to nurture it. But as you start to also, as the flame, let me put it this way, as the flame of desire starts to rage, the fears become louder too. Remember the card that's been coming out all the time, the Hunter card from Big Bertha? I bet if I use that deck, it's going to come out. That card says seek out, find your fears and desires, because they're both correlated. So the flame of your desire starts to rage and rise and say, look at me, feel me. Your fears are going to get louder too. And it's going to show you, you're going to see from a much bigger perspective, from more of a higher vantage point, why those fears are there in the first place, especially if it relates to relationships, or especially if it relates to any kind of like mirroring that's been going on in your recent reality, or even just throughout your life. Now, Pallas Athena in Cancer amplifies this effect as well. Pallas Athena in Cancer is square Chiron and is square Jupiter. This is bringing up shadowy Cancer energy. This is bringing up wounded feminine energy. Anything relating to lack of self-love, love itself, lack of acceptance of others, any wounds or insecurities or anxieties around home, domestic life, the feminine, mother energies, mother influences, grandmother energies, grandmother influences, lack of emotional support, abandonment issues, codependencies, addictions, all of those things. There's a lot in that bucket, but that's how these things can manifest. You're going to see all this for what it is, what it's been, your role in it, the other people's roles in it, all of that. Now, as Pallas Athena gets closer to Sirius, that's also going to get more intense too. The emphasis on how important those things are, how important. I just heard Isis. Ooh, I just heard Isis. Makes sense. Makes total sense. Oh, I got chills through my body. Isis is going to be huge in that. Don't be surprised if Isis comes through. They're reminding me about Sekhmet. Thank you. So around 222, I told you guys about this. Sekhmet was coming through in the collective. I was also personally working with Sekhmet energy as well. Well, Isis is going to be coming up. Talk about major goddess energy, right? Isis is goddess of magic, goddess of resurrection, goddess of healing. It's like they're really highlighting the magic and like manifestation abilities of Isis. Don't be surprised if she comes to you to be worked with, okay? Whew, there's a lot going on there. So, again, as the flame of desire rises, so will your fear. If you can only really hear your fear and you can't really get to the desire, unmask the fear, unmask the insecurity, unmask the anxiety, see it for what it is, and then you're going to really feel the desire come through. Okay? Let's see. Stay strong, healers. Yes. 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 Because I know you guys can handle this energy. I know you guys are going to benefit from these energies, like, immensely. People who are not ready to handle them, people who like don't have the tools or the awareness, this might be a hard boat for them. This might be a little bit of a hard boat for them. So don't be surprised if people around you, like family members especially who are not really on the path, if they start kind of losing their minds a little bit. If they start feeling really emotional and really triggered and they're not really sure why they're lashing out or what have you, this is a chance to be in that God energy, your inner God, your inner goddess. This is speaking a lot more about the feminine, and handling it with grace, okay? Now, the last two things I want to mention aspect-wise. Neptune in Pisces at 24 degrees is square Mars and Gemini at 21 degrees. Talked about this in the weekly. So this is funky because this has a huge effect on the body This can cause exhaustion. This can cause lethargy. This can cause depression, laziness, especially if there's a lot of emotional stuff we're not flowing with. I want to put it that way. A lot of astrologers equate this to like feeling guilt and remorse and shame and, dealing with gossip and rumors and scandal and maybe being a little paranoid and like having some illusions going on there. I feel like it only manifests that way and you only get really lethargic if you're not actually flowing with the emotions. That's how I feel about this aspect personally. But again, that's not an astrologer's point of view. That's like an intuitive astrologer's point of view. Um, so it's going to bring up the depths, the emotional depths. It's going to really amplify the sensitivity of your emotional body. So just flow with it. If you got a lot of fear in correlation to the desires, let it flow. Let it flow, let it come up and out, purge if you need to. Recognize, patterns and wounds and all that shit around the Aries Cancer energies that I've already talked about. And let it go, right? Let it go. There's so much coming up here around not being accepted by others. There's so much coming up here with that, and just learning to accept and be comfortable with the fact that some people are just not going to, and that it's not about you. It's about where they are on their journey, and that is okay. There's so much coming up with that. Which also, don't be surprised again if people talk shit about you, or maybe you realize how much people talk shit about you. Again, don't take it personally. It's not a personal thing. This is also realizing how you have taken these things personally and internalized them. The narratives you need to let go of, because they weren't even your narratives in the first place. Now, oh, hold on one second. Big astrology talk, this live. Venus and Mars. Venus is sextile Mars with this full moon, but it's really weak. Venus is at 18 degrees, Mars is at 21 degrees. This aspect gets really strong this upcoming week. I think the 11th is when it peaks. The 11th is going to be a good day. Mark it on the calendar. Make sure you have some fun that day, or do something creative that day, or have some fun flirty times that day. If you're going on a date, make it on the 11th. Mars sextile Venus. That's just a lot of play and fun and sensual energy, romantic energy, really great for dating, really great for relationships and romance and intimacy. It's also a time where we actually feel really confident, like super confident, very magnetic, very charismatic. We feel a lot more comfortable in our skin, generally speaking, when we have this aspect. It's also really great for investing in any creative projects, any pet projects, anything that, again, that you've been trying to like progress forward or work on. It's just a beautiful vibe. It's a beautiful vibe. Masculine and feminine energy working together to create opportunities. Sextile is about opportunities and birthing things. It's beautiful. It's awesome. If you meet anybody around this time, again, practice your own discernment. But if you meet anybody around this time, whether it's in the realm of work or creativity or romance, or even just a really awesome friendship, pay attention to that. Pay attention to that, nurture that in a healthy way. Most likely very well aspected to just be a really great experience, a really great relationship. Okay? But considering everything that we have going on with Chiron, Jupiter, Vesta, Pallas Athena, all of that, I don't expect the full moon to be all about romance and all of that. It's just a nice aspect that we have in the background amongst everything else that we got going on. Now, the last fixed star I wanted to talk about was the one that's working with Chiron. So, Alpheretz, I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Excuse me. So I'm actually drink sparkling water. Excuse me. Alpheretz is at 14 degrees. Chiron is at 14 degrees, both in Aries. They're just minutes away from each other. Alpheretz is at 14 degrees, 37 minutes. Chiron's at 14 degrees, 11 minutes. Very, very close. Alpheretz has a Jupiter Venusian energy to it, which is really nice working with Chiron, because Chiron is working with Jupiter, and Jupiter is also working with Vesta, and Chiron is also slightly working with Venus. So that Jupiter Venusian influence of Alpheretz. Oh, Alpharetz. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. I am not great at pronouncing a lot of these fixed stars, just saying, I just own it. But that's how it's spelled. Alpharetz. ETZ. Alpharets. Alpharets. You're welcome. So that Jupiter Venusian quality of Alpharets is really amplified here surrounding Chiron, right? Typically, it's looked at as enabling independence, love, freedom, riches, intellect, integrity. Integrity is a part of this too. It actually is the head of the princess, of the Andromeda princess in the Andromeda constellation. Just giving you little factoids on it. But I think that's a beautiful placement. I think that's beautiful that it's working with Chiron in this capacity. It's just bringing more positive energy when it comes to that stuff and getting over, again, the fear, anxiety, insecurity, the programming, all that shit. All that shit. Yeah. So that's all the astrology. Oh, you know what? I didn't do, hold on. I did not do the signs and degree ranges for houses. Hold on, give me a second. For the ones that matter. Then we have Cancer. It's a 12. Let's see, but those are mutable. Virgo is also mutable. Okay, so Aries and Virgo by far are the most important ones. Okay, Alejandra, hi. What day is the full moon peak? March 7th at about 7:40 a.m. East Coast time. So again, adjust that to where you are. Walking home. Oh, okay. Aries and Virgo are the most important signs to look at, most important signs to watch. Before I actually get into that, I want to mention something. Earth signs. Virgo, then Taurus, and then Capricorn. Look to your personal houses. You're going to have a lot of change going on there. A lot of change in your houses of Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. Again, prioritize the Virgo. I would look at... Ooh. Hold on. It's such a tight range. The tight range is 14 to 16. I actually want to expand it though to 10 to 20. But that's more the accurate range, 14 to 16 degrees, but I would expand that to 10 to 20 degrees. Virgo, Taurus, and then Capricorn, for where you're going to have a lot of changes going on. Okay? Okay. Sorry. My mutable signs. If you have a lot of personal planets or placements like North Node, your moon, your sun, Venus, Lilith even, your Chiron, all those things. If you have a lot of those placements in any mutable sign, Aries and Pisces, Gemini and Virgo, particularly, is that 24? That's 24. Particularly 15 to 20 degrees, you're going to be very emotional probably. Just saying. You might feel very, very emotional. You might feel like so much is coming to you, so much is coming up, but that's not a bad thing. Emotion is not bad. That's another channeling that's been coming up for the collective too. Like, emotions are okay. Emotions are not a bad thing. It's okay for people to have emotions. It's okay for people to flow with them and express them. I think the lack of resonance between people who are okay with emotions and people who are not is just going to be really highlighted right now. Something about Orcus is relating to that. But anyway, just wanted to mention that. It's funny, we don't have a lot of fixed energy right now to talk about. My cardinal signs, particularly Aries, and then Cancer. And then Capricorn and then Libra. But Aries and Cancer in particular, I would say, if you get personal placements, personal planets, anywhere between 10 and 20 degrees, you might feel very worked up. You might feel very assertive. Maybe even a little territorial. It's just something that's coming through. It's interesting. Territorial about your energy, your boundaries, what you're doing. That cardinal energy is gonna come out a lot, I think, with this full moon. But coming to the houses, like first house, second house, third house, based off your rising sign. For those who are new, just look to where your rising sign is and you'll see the ranges of the signs and degrees and everything. Um, yeah, I would say Aries and Virgo 10 to 20 degrees. Aries, Virgo 10 to 20 degrees is where you want to look at for not just changes that are happening, but also where you're going to feel motivated to take action to make things happen. Okay? Make things happen, get plans together, nurture the things that you are passionate about that make you excited about things. Definitely see that. Don't be surprised if relationships are part of this too, if where you like you suddenly meet people or leave people. That's also there. Um, yeah, yeah. Pisces and Gemini are interesting because this is that Neptune square Mars energy. This is where we're going to have some emotion. This is also where we may feel like we're battling our energy a little bit, especially in terms of like what it is we're feeling, acknowledging, not acknowledging. Um, 20 to 25 degrees, Pisces and Gemini. I feel a conflict there too between Gemini and Pisces. I feel this conflict of like, I want to do, I want to go. And then Neptune Pisces is like, do you really? Almost a little trickstery. Do you really though? So yeah, I would look to those houses and see what weird conflict is going on there. I'm trying to think of my own houses. Um, for me, that's like, because my 10th house starts at Pisces 20 degrees. So for me, that's my 10th house and my 12th house. Oh, that's going to be a battle with work and self-care for me. Shocker. Like, that's not new in my experience. But yeah, look at those houses and see what battle is going to go on there, because Mars is going to encourage like do, move, do. And Neptune Pisces is going to be like making you question those things, or there's going to be some emotion that Neptune Pisces is going to be bringing up in relation to how you want to move on something or what movement you want to make. 20 to 25 degrees. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get to the collective message since we're like almost an hour in. I'm just very, very chatty today. Based on our natal chart or progress charts, I look at both. I always look at both. No reason not to, you know. Huh, Clyde. He just came out from under the bed. He knows a shift has happened. She's done with the astrology portion. My boyfriend is Gemini, Sun, double Pisces. There's so many double Pisceans I'm becoming aware of. It's like interesting. I really, really love spending time with my tribe. I do too. It always feels good, right? He knows. He knows I'm about to pull cards. He's like, I gotta get up there. I gotta get up there. Huh, bubs? Also, okay, just like, so before we get to cards, just like a little bit of like casual hang, talky talk time. I had the funniest dream the other night. I forget how many nights ago this was. Maybe it was only like 3 nights ago. And I was like, I've been stressing about the move. And I had this dream where I walked into my apartment, the apartment I'm in now, and little moving fairies had come in and moved all my stuff out for me. And there was like some stuff left, and I saw them like slowly carrying it out. I was like, okay, that's too funny. It's kind of adorable and kind of cute and very funny. I also had a really scary dream after that, actually, but that was more about someone else in my life and their shit and nothing to do with me. I think I just had to bear witness to it, but yeah, maybe that's a sign it's going to be easy. I think so. I think that was an indication of like, we're looking out for you. Like you're fine. You're on your way. We're making sure things are happening. And so it felt good to have that dream, but to the point of fairies, I'm very convinced there are fairies in my house because I keep losing things that make no sense to be lost. So for example, I'm really sad. I have a lotus ring because I've been working with the lotus plant, and it's been a really interesting experience. I'm actually working on a deck right now for that too. I love working with the lotus. It's a beautiful feminine energy plant. But I love that ring. I love that ring. It like keeps me subconsciously connected to that energy, right? And it fits perfectly. The second I saw it, I was like, that is mine. I have to have that ring. And I put last night, put all my rings down together because I was wearing 3. I was wearing my Larimar, I was wearing my turquoise sandalwood, and I was wearing my lotus ring. And I put them all down together on the table on my desk, did not move. Clyde didn't act up, so I know he didn't play with them. I went to bed. I get up, go to my rings, and I'm like, where's my lotus ring? All the other rings were there. My lotus ring was gone. I searched high and low, and I'm like, please give me my lotus ring. Please give it to me. There have been a couple of things that's happened with, where like in the last few days, where stuff is just like, bloop, just vanished before my eyes practically. And it's just like, I understand that you want to take those things right now, but please give them back. I wonder if they'll reappear after the move. Maybe. I'm telling you, Spirit has intervened in very strange ways like that. So, oh God. This one still blows my mind. This was years ago. This was back in 2014. God, talking about another lifetime. So back in 2014, I actually was in my first studio apartment. And I was trying to go to work. And the night before, I hung out with a friend, and I had my car key in my pocket, because back then I didn't carry a purse. I had it in my pocket. I get home, because I drove home. So I get home, and I put it down where I always put it. I wake up for work, and it's gone. I didn't have Clyde back then. Clyde was not in my life, so no kitty interference, right? And I was like, how come my key disappear? I'm tearing my apartment apart for like a good 40 minutes. I'm late for work at this point. And it's embarrassing to be like, I'm late because I can't find my key. And then I figure maybe I locked it in the car. Maybe that's totally possible because I kept it separate from my house keys just in case you lose one, you don't want to lose the other. And then I like have to call AAA to open up my car. They come out, they open my car, and my key is not in there. I don't have a freaking car key. So then I had to call a friend to take me to work. I'm like 2 or 3 hours late at this point to work. I go to work and have my day, and I come back home and I'm like, I don't know where the hell this key is. And I call my parents because they had a spare key, and I picked up the spare, and it wasn't until I was moving out, which was like maybe 6 or 8 months later, and I was going through stuff, right? And I open a bin that had been tucked away in the back of a closet. It was like Christmas stuff. My car key is sitting right on top of everything in a closed bin. And I was like, really? That was totally Spirit intervening for whatever reason or another. Maybe there was gonna be a major accident and I would have been killed or something. Who knows? But yeah, that was like so eerie because my mom was helping me and she remembered. She's like, is that your car key? The one you lost? I was like, yeah. Uh-huh. They must have saved you from a road catastrophe. Yeah, I definitely think so. Thank you. Oh, I don't know where I have been. Oh, it's okay. I talked about it way in the beginning. Yeah, Spirit does funny things when they want to intervene. But yeah, I want my lotus ring back. Okay, let's go ahead and get into some cards. We all just found out as well. LOL. Yeah, this is like very, very new news. And like I said, it's not set in stone. Just fingers crossed. Man, making sure I get that place. Actually, let me make sure that wasn't them. I assume they'd call. Yeah. Okay. Let's pull cards. For full moon Virgo. I mean, Big Bertha wants to come out. I don't think that's any surprise to anybody. Any messages or insights for the collective for full moon Virgo? I'm sure for a reason. So my Taurus is my 9th house, so this means big changes in my house and big changes. Or travel. Travel is also something that is highlighted too, because we do have Jupiter working so hard with Vesta and Chiron, which is like, obviously rules travel, but especially if you have any sacred work or mission or purpose that's wrapped up in that too. And then Uranus with Taurus, that could also indicate some like actual physical movement, also travel. And if it's in your 9th house, travel is what I'd say. The reason I want to Sedona is you talking about it. I fell in love with it. I need to go back. It's easy to fall in love with Sedona. It is. It's such a magical place. There is another place I was looking at, and who knows, you know, if this place falls through, maybe I'll check back up on that one. The only reason I didn't is because I'm probably gonna have to work, and internet access at this other place was like probably gonna be very difficult. It was a cabin. It was a cabin in the mountains, which I've actually always wanted secretly, but it's also month to month, and it's owned privately. And I've discovered on my journey of moving incessantly, if you rent from people who own privately, if they want you out, they're just gonna kick you out with like little notice, you know? It's like, as opposed to like, and I don't really like property management companies or anything like that. Like, there's a lot of evil going on there, but unless you do something horrible, they're not going to uninvite you to stay. You know, you can pretty much stay as long as you want, as long as you can afford it. But anyway, so the cabin in the mountains, it was also really small. It was like 300 square feet. And while I don't need a lot of space, that is like almost no space. That's like a closet. And I have a cat. And there's like river access, or creek access, I should say. So yeah, like everything about it was perfect, except I just didn't feel great about renting from people privately, just because I've had really bad experiences with just having the rug pulled out from under me with that. In this place, the last place I rented that was owned privately, like I just didn't want to run that risk again. And then the whole internet was going to be an issue, and it's more expensive than the place that I'm trying to get now. And it was like, it's kind of steep for small space, and not knowing if I'll be able to stay, you know? Anyway, coming back to full moon Virgo. Any messages or insights for full moon Virgo cycle? They're definitely showing me Empress energy. They keep showing me the goddess energy. This very, very fertile, very attractive energy. Are we gonna get sexual energy here? Just something that I am picking up on. I don't know who this is for. And I think it's just something that men or masculine energies may be like experiencing as a collective, because there's this amplified like sensual sexual energy, because we're getting like deeper into our passion and deeper into our emotions, deeper into what we want, right? And then on top of it, we have this very fertile goddess-like energy, and also a Venus sextile Mars, which will be strongest on the 11th. Everyone's going to be feeling themselves. Everybody's going to be feeling attractive and almost looking more attractive too. I just can't shake this feeling of like wanting to get someone pregnant. It's like what I'm feeling right now. Wanting to get somebody pregnant, wanting to put their seed inside somebody. Like, I can't shake that feeling right now. It's a weird feeling to have as a woman. Yeah, just calling it how I feel it. Any messages or insights for full moon Virgo cycle? I mean, think about it, right? Virgo is that kind of goddessy, fertile sort of energy, you know? It's interesting. I'm still feeling it. I'm just like, this is just fascinating. So even if you're like, meet someone and things are getting sexy, like, they'll probably not say it. They probably won't say it. They might not even understand why they feel that way. But they might just be overwhelmed by this feeling of like, I just want to, I just have to, I just want to, I just have to. So just be careful on who you play with. Literal baby making or creative projects too. I think that could be applied to creative projects too, but I keep getting this like feeling of like, I want to impregnate. Like, it's very clear, is very specific of like looking at a feminine energy or looking at like an actual female and being like, I want to impregnate her. I need to give my seed to that. I want to give my seed to that. And yeah, so yeah, it could be creative projects. We were getting this earlier, right? Witnessing like someone's true light, their true heart, their true soul, and what they've been through. And that could even be the Lady card. Enjoy growth and reap rewards. This is the Empress in this deck. Interesting. Choose your path on the other side. Anyway, But yeah, it could relate to creative projects too. Like maybe someone just sees how capable you are, what you have to offer, and they're like, I'm gonna get in on that. I'm gonna make sure I get in on that. Uh, any, sorry. Sometimes we get crazy messages. But honestly, humans are kind of crazy. The stuff that goes through people's heads is kind of crazy. Okay. It's pretty well shuffled. Any messages or insights for full moon Virgo cycle? Just got really hot. Star family! Aww! Okay, you know, again, I'm having one of those weird moments where I'm pretty sure I've never seen this card before, ever. Like, ever. Star family. Look at all those light beings up in the ethers, all connected. You're part of a team of souls. Call in support. If you need help at this time, ask for help. Ask for help from the right people. You might really see who your friends really are. We are a star family. Exactly. We are a star family. Again, I keep getting this whole like new people coming in, new people being conceived, or just coming into your reality, coming together with that feeling of family. Because that's another thing too with all this like Aries, Cancer, Palestine energy, right? Is seeing where emotional support hasn't existed, where you really haven't been accepted by certain people in your reality, and it's like, and then seeing who will, right, as a result of that. So I love that this is the first card out, Star Family. Water Guardian. Basically like the Queen of Cups to me. Connect with your emotions. Everything I just talked about, I don't even feel like I need to explain this. It's everything I just mentioned in relation to Star Family. Hold on a second, guys. Okay. Remember what I was saying about this feeling of like, I want to impregnate that from a masculine energy? High Priest. Divine masculine energy. This is a divine masculine card. Remember a download I got too about the Hawkeye? Hawkeye, right there. Horus energy. Strong Horus energy. Ooh, strong Horus energy. Horus is definitely an archetype of divine masculine when I look at that pantheon. Intend and create. So don't get too stuck on like the impregnate message that I had. Does this definitely apply? Yes. This definitely applies. The way his arm is extending. Oh God, I didn't even realize. Yeah. Yeah. Does that impregnate message apply here? Yeah, absolutely. But this is also understanding what it is you want and who you want to connect with. Who are you creating for? Are you creating just for yourself? If you are, that's fine. But know if you're creating for yourself, you're also creating for your star family. You're creating for your soul family, the people that are just like you, the people that are vibing with you. This definitely feels like that creative, collaborative sort of energy. But yeah, it's like I can't get away from that masculine energy. The masculine energy is very like focused and intentional. I think one of the signs had a message like that. It might have been air. I think it was Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I think it was air for the weekly. Hi everyone, late again. Hello, Redden. Hi, Cynthia. Hi. There's also part of that energy too where I was mentioning when the desire comes up, the fears come up too, right? And Mars square Neptune is really taking us into like the depths of our emotions and bringing them up to the surface, right? So we can really do understand exactly what we want and exactly what we're passionate about and how we've gotten, like how things have gotten in the way. This is understanding those things. And also if you need help, talk to your star family, talk to your soul family, whether you know them in physical form or not. That could even be your spirit team here. Don't be surprised if you see a shift in men around you. Everyone's going through a shift. But I do say men because it's such an emphasis on the masculine right now. Any messages or insights? For full moon Virgo cycle. If we get the High Priestess. I mean, look how many cards are in this deck. If we get the High Priestess, that'll be crazy. Yeah, I keep getting Horus. Am I taking these? Take this one. Okay. Winter, take care of your needs. Self-care. I'm actually feeling boundaries with this. And this could also be a period of recovery, stagnancy. I feel like we've been in winter, and we're literally ending winter right now. Or is it technically over already? However you want to see that. But yeah. Boundaries. I keep feeling boundaries with this. Boundaries. Yeah, against anybody who's compromising this energy for you. Again, where there's been a lack of emotional support and acceptance, right? Like, this is a very empowered, connected, emotional, passionate, spiritual place to be, where you're ready to make things happen, especially with people who are just like you, who have the same intentions, who have good intentions. And I keep feeling with this, it's like recognizing the people that have gotten in the way of that, recognizing habits that have gotten in the way of that, like addictions that have gotten in the way of that, and taking care of business to get yourself on track, right? Definitely feeling boundaries against certain people there. Any other messages or insights for full moon Virgo? Any other messages or insights for full moon Virgo? Ooh. New Earth and Earth School. How funny. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. Life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. God, so much to say about these two cards being here together. A lot of us are here for a reason. We're all here for a reason. We're all here for growth. First of all, we're here for Earth School. We're all here for Earth School. We're all here to grow and develop spiritually, to mature spiritually, learn those lessons, clear out karma, all those things. We're all here for that. But also some of us are here to anchor a new earth. Some of us are here for that. Some of us are here to anchor it in. Some of us are here to help people see what new earth is and what new earth could be. Some people are here to help wake people up to get to new earth. All these things, right? We've all got different roles to play because we're all different beings and we always have been. But while, yes, we are here for Earth School and everyone is, it almost has that double mission kind of feel. I think that card came out last time or sometime recently, where it is happening, right? It's like you guys are fulfilling your purpose, your calling, your missions, by owning you, owning what drives you, owning what you're passionate about and making it happen. Don't get discouraged because it takes time. Don't get discouraged because in the ether you feel like it should be here, it's here, and it is here. Energetically, it's here. Energetically, we've already won. Let me also say that. Energetically, spiritually, we've already won. We're already in New Earth. We've been in New Earth. It just takes time for the physical reality to catch up, to actually reflect that back to us physically. It just takes time. So just know that some of you have already done your jobs. Some of you are continuing to do your jobs. Some of you will move into a whole new title, if you will, or job description of what New Earth needs. There's also like how do I want to say this? Continuing. Some things have to be continued, even though New Earth is already here, like maintenance, if you will, maintenance. Like some of the grid work I'm going to be doing is part of like maintenance, and then like putting in even more, like it's almost like layers, right? Like there are a lot of people who've been doing grid work, so I'm just gonna explain this really quickly. A lot of people have been doing grid work. Every time someone comes in and does grid work somewhere, it's another layer and another layer and another layer and another layer, more codes, more activations. It's almost like someone wrote the initial program and people are coming in and adding, people are coming in and tweaking, people are coming in and improving, right? So some of that is maintenance, some of that is like, hey, let's like upgrade this. Hey, you know what? This actually needs to be shifted this way. So the grid work I'm going to be doing this summer is also part of that. But anyway, just as an example to give you just from what my own life experience, but that's why these two cards are out here. Any other messages or insights for the collective? For full moon Virgo. Ooh, we got some guardians. Okay. A lot of guardians coming out in this reading. Yeah, definitely some travel going on for people for this full moon or upcoming, or realizing you need to travel. So we have Medicine Guardian and Earth Guardian came out together. Look at all that green. All the... Sorry. All... Give me a second, guys. I'm going to put this on Do Not Disturb. Where's Do Not Disturb? There it is. Okay. All that green. To me, that screams the heart. It screams physical health. It just screams balance. It also, like, there's a jovial energy behind this too. There's a lot of Gaia, goddess energy wrapped up in this too. Earth Guardian, this is actually like an elven being for those of you guys who relate to elves. Medicine Guardian, this is actually Raphael, I believe this is Archangel Raphael. This is also coming like by way of like psychic insight and information. I feel a lot of communing with nature, a lot of talking to Gaia, letting it speak back to you. Some of you guys getting into healing modalities, some of you there's more natural healing modalities, some of you is really focusing on the body wisdom. That's been a huge thing for the collective. It's almost like instructions. Yeah. Ooh, it's instructions. Instructions are coming through downloads, intuitive hits, dreams. Instructions are coming through. Huh. Listen to those instructions. It's wrapped up in our personal paths, callings, missions. I keep hearing it's instructions. And then we have Trader. Exchange energy to create abundance. I keep feeling travel with this. This is also about working with people. Like legitimately working with people, collaborating with people, learning from people, people learning from you, because it takes everybody. Hold on a second. Can you go back, please? Please? All right. Because it takes everybody. You may get certain instructions to travel certain places, talk to certain people, read certain bits of information, go and even just spend time with friends. You may even feel called to be like spend more time just having fun and like being with other like-minded soul family, star family individuals. But yeah, it's because it takes a network. It takes collaboration for things to actually be weaved together to create, and to build up the physicality of what New Earth is. I feel great friendship energy here. I'm really liking the friendship energy. It's funny because I keep getting the heart reference. Look at where their hands are, right? Except for Raphael, he's busy cooking something. But hand over the heart, hand over the heart, hand over the heart. Yeah, I'm just getting really nice friendship energy. Just want to see if anything else was coming through. The next thing, empathic starseed. Energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. This is part of that winter taking care of your needs. Again, understanding how this part of you, this energy, has been compromised or can be compromised by not having boundaries against the appropriate people, right? People who distract you from this, people who take you out of your emotions, people who are energetic vampires, people who are just not aligned with your intentions, people who are not really they're just not aligned with you, right? And also being empathic or being a starseed or being a healer, it is really easy to absorb other people's shit. This is a time to not do that. This is a time to really have those strong boundaries, really look out for yourself, and really look out for the things that you want to do and you want to create and that you feel like you're here to do. Keep your eye on the prize, and that prize is you and what you're here to do. Didn't mean to rhyme. It just came out that way. I was literally writing about this 2 hours ago. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And even with this energy too, right? Because it came out near Traitor with all of this. Exchange your energy with the right people. I can't emphasize this enough. I know I sound like a broken record, but exchange your energy with the right people, not people where it's like they're dumping their shit onto you. During the weekly message, it was all about victimization. People dumping their victimization crap on you, and you absorb it and then you internalize it. It's not yours. Give it back. It's not yours. Give it back. Throw it away. Whatever. Right? Your messages today have been almost slam poetic. Buddy. Thank you for that comment. I appreciate that. Learning to send love and light when facing funky energies instead of lowering to it. Right, exactly. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying no. There's nothing wrong with walking away. There's nothing wrong with being like, I see you. I'm going to go that way. Right? Or I see you, but just like not participating. You know, the quickest way to get someone to walk away from you is just not participate. Not participate, not pay them any mind. Start doing something for you, especially if you divert that energy and focus like literally to something for yourself in the moment, and they're just whatever they're doing, they can't take from you. And when they realize they can't take from you, they're just going to disappear. As a projector, people love to vent to me. I just learned to go with the flow. It's okay to go with the flow. Just don't take that shit in. Just don't take it in. It could be so easy to take it in, you know? Buddy, can I continue working, please? Hold on. Let's see what the overall energy is. Ow, stop scratching me. I gotta cut his nails. Overall, ooh, star bathing. Light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. Some of you guys are going to start seeing grids. Some of you guys are going to be doing grid work. Some of you guys are going to be activated. Some of you guys are going through ascension. Some of you guys are getting crazy downloads. We're all being blasted with energy, honestly, for the last couple of days. But this is really cool. This is the overall energy. This card also speaks of actually taking time. Oh, that was weird. I thought it actually shined for... Interesting. Take some time out to be with the stars as well. Like if you're in an area where you don't have, ow, that really hurt. If you're in an area where you don't have a lot of light pollution, take time to look at the stars, connect with them. Like I said, Sirius and Andromeda energies are really strong right now, okay? Underneath that, are we surprised the fox is out here? Also, there's been kind of a collective spirit animal lately, kind of like a mascot for the collective. Sorry, I'm just being a baby. Trust your talents in changing times. Trust yourself. You've been doing the work. Some of you, again, have already done what you needed to do, and you're just on to another mission. You're on to a more elaborate part of your mission or calling. And yeah, there's more work to do. But the important part of actually, like, energetically, spiritually having New Earth here is done. That part is done. We just physically need to get this shit up and running, right? But anyway, there's also an observant energy, a cautious energy, again, with the boundaries. With the boundaries and understanding how to not give your energy to people that you shouldn't be giving it to, because we need all of our energies focused on ourselves right now. Okay. Nice. I want to do one more spread. Gonna be like right in the wrist too. I was reading something about the piece of the sun that broke up. Oh, you were? Wasn't that crazy? It's crazy. I suppose that's what's happening, and I'm being moved. Being a Taurus, I'm freaked out because I don't have a clue where I'm off to. It'll come. It'll fall into place. It'll fall into place. I would even just let yourself, like, I don't know if you've been hyper focused on it or not. I think what helped me is actually just like taking myself out of the situation mentally and emotionally. Kind of just like doing my daily and trying to just also meditate and be within myself and ground, and spending a lot of time in nature really helped me a lot. Like the last hike I went on, I felt like I had like a couple more big pieces fall into place, and I was like, okay, I see. I decided to just go with the flow and whatever it is. I went into a polar vortex at the North Pole. What? That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm also a Taurus sun, and I also don't know where I am going. You guys will. You will. Just tell yourself you will, and it's just going to fall into your minds. It will. Guides told me not to worry. It's being taken care of. I know it's hard, right? Because my guides were like, stop trying to make it happen. And I was like, I have no time. I gotta move a car. I gotta move a cat. I gotta sell everything. I gotta know where, like, you know, da 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 da. And they were like, no, you need to not do anything. You need to literally sit and do nothing. And I was like, I don't know if I can do that. But yeah, it's hard. If they're telling you that, you just gotta listen to it. Because also, if you don't do what they're saying, it's just gonna get more stressful. And it might even get a little bit more down to the wire in a way where you really don't like, right? Anyway, so let's pull some tarot cards. I'm actually feeling the Runic Tarot. So this might be a little bit more of a matrixy read is kind of the vibe I'm getting, but we'll see. Because you guys know how I work. It's like, I feel like all my readings have like so many different dimensions to them. I feel like this was very like collective, etherical. Here's what's going on in the higher realms of the collective conscious, right? And I feel like we're going to come down a little bit into how this could possibly manifest externally, especially when it comes to people around you. Let's see. Again, relationships are huge right now, particularly with mirroring. So pay attention to any mirroring that you are experiencing with people. Ooh. These cards are being stubborn. Do we have stubborn people around us? I feel like anybody who's been really stubborn, especially, they're bringing me back to the judgment, especially with any misjudgments they've had about you or about people. And again, you guys can be included in this too, so just take accountability where it's needed. If there's been any stubbornness, any attaching to ego, any attaching to being right, again, this whole judgment thing, attaching to being right, or even controlling, might be some not so pleasant towers coming in for that. Any messages or insights for full moon Virgo? Any messages or insights for full moon Virgo? Okay. Clyde. He's like, come on, I headbutted you. Buddy. Talk about being stubborn. Come here. Okay. Alright. Any messages or insights for full moon Virgo cycle? Justice, karmic balancing, harmony, things going in your favor. Things going in your favor. I keep feeling like spirit is intervening in people's lives. That was something I was feeling during the weekly too. You think you can charm me? You think you can charm me? Let him stay. I'm gonna try. He tends to kind of fall all over the cards or knock the camera over. If he does that, I gotta take him down. Anyway, karmic balancing is happening. I do keep feeling this like divine intervention that's happening in people's lives though. Like spirit coming in and being like, because we are in a period of time too where it's like, and I've talked about this, where we can't straddle the fence anymore. We can't just leave things totally undecided when it comes to certain relationships, certain jobs, or certain environments, certain circumstances where it's like, you know, deep down, your soul has been telling you go left and your ego's like, no, stay, or go right. So any circumstances you've been having about that, this like unsettledness where deep down, you know, your soul has been telling you to do something and you're not acting on it. Spirit's starting to intervene because we can't be in those situations right now with where we're going. Excuse me. Yeah. But with justice being upright, it is going in your favor. It's not working against you. At least for for most of you guys that are here. If you're like in the other end of things, right? Um, no, they said no. It's all about balance. They said it's all about the balance. I was like, okay, no right, no wrong. It's about the balance. Ooh, Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Queen of Pentacles is nice. It kind of has this vibe of being grounded, kind of sitting pretty. It's Capricorn energy, but I can feel that goddessy Virgo energy right there too. Yeah, it's grounded, it's stable, rational, practical. There's a nice balance of earth and water there too. I like it. I keep hearing sitting pretty. Sitting pretty, sitting pretty, sitting pretty, sitting pretty, sitting pretty, sitting pretty. Okay, got it. Sitting pretty. Okay, nice. If you've been scared about your finances, that's being rectified. Oh, so this is what's getting balanced out. Ace of Pentacles in reverse with Lovers in reverse. If you've been having any opportunities, potential paths, where you've been kind of unsure, it's almost like you're dodging the ones that are not aligned with you. You're dodging ones that are not aligned with you, or you're actually missing them. So if you've been missing out on opportunities, I would say don't worry, because it seems like those probably weren't aligned with you anyway. What is this? This is fear. Fear and scarcity, fear and scarcity, fear and scarcity, fear and scarcity. What you deserve, what you're entitled to. I'm getting like a 9 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles feeling too for some of you with this. If you were feeling this at any point in time, your fear was winning. Your fear was winning. But you're coming out of that. Again, you're balancing, you're balancing, you're balancing, you're balancing. I'm feeling a relationship, but let's continue. We'll see if it comes up again. I said that and then King of Cups came out. I'm feeling a relationship. Oh shit, King of Cups. Oh, wait a minute. Is this someone who's not in your reality yet? They came on top of the Earth Guardian. Earth Guardian and Traitor, where you're exchanging energy. Some of you guys don't know this individual yet. Some of you, this is just like a teacher, a mentor, a friend. Like, doesn't have to be romantic. For some of you, it's going to be romantic. There's a vulnerability, there's an openness, letting the emotions flow. This King of Cups energy, this is somebody who is very grounded in their emotions and they flow with them. It's very Piscean too, is what I'm getting. They understand the interconnectedness of all things. That this person is part of your soul family and star family. This feels like a new person. I don't think you guys know this person yet. Some of you guys, this could be a new guide coming in to just kind of shower you with love. This feels new. If you met them, I don't think you've known them for very long. You haven't been aware of them for very long. It's interesting how that wanted to come out. Meaning like you haven't been thinking about them. If you have known them, you haven't been really thinking about them. But I think most of you, this is someone down the line that you'll get to exchange energy with. And I feel like they're going to teach you. I feel like they're going to teach you some stuff. Any other messages or insights? This is somebody that is aligned with you. Like, there's none of this taking energy or bullshit like that. Wow, 9 of Swords in reverse, in between the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. Right smack dab in the middle of that. There's an ease here. There's a healing here. Like I said, this person, whoever this is, their energy has a has a positive impact on you. A positive impact on you. Almost helps you to see and understand any anxieties or any of that fear that you've been having, or anything that still lies within. But I feel like you haven't met them yet. Or again, it's like you might know them, but you're not super aware of them. Like, you're not, like, you don't think about them, if that's the case. Could be a man, could be a female, doesn't matter. But it's somebody who's very compassionate, loving, mature, very mature. I like that the Nine of Swords is in reverse here. There's a calm about it. And again, they may be very helpful to you. They may be very healing to you. They're on your path for a reason. I feel like they're also giving you information that you just need. And it could just be very healing information for yourself, or it could be for something that you want to be involved with later. Knowing them gives you information. Let's keep going. Any other messages or insights? Remember what I was saying too, right? It's like something else that's happening here in relationships is people leaving, people coming. But there's also this like putting boundaries in the right place. There's healing that is going on for some people. Some of you, there's going to be a bearing of the hatchet. Is that the term? Bearing of the axe, hatchet? Whatever. You're going to make peace with certain people around you or in your reality where there's been kind of like unfinished business, unspoken things. Peace will be made in some way, shape, or form. Wow. World in reverse and the Six of Swords. Getting over what you thought you couldn't get over. Letting go of what you didn't think you could let go of. Literally. If you've been struggling with a lesson, you're just going to find peace all of a sudden. This feels a little bit like it's assisted. And it actually came across the King of Cups. It came with the King of Cups. Like I said, whoever this person is, they're supposed to be on your path. And for some of you, it is a guide, like I said. Helping you to get over what you couldn't get over. Helping you clear what you were having a hard time clearing. Overall, we have the Star in reverse. Jeez, the Five of Cups. Oh, Magician in reverse. Is this part of what you couldn't let go of? Five of Swords. Yuck. Whoa. Rejection, abandonment. Yeah, this is what we're having a hard time letting go of. This is what has been part of your fear. Part of your fear, part of the anxiety, the insecurity. Like, again, as your desire raises, the fear raises, so you can understand. This King of Cups is really helping you move past it. Look at this. This is like no joke. Star in reverse with the Five of Cups, that is grief. It's grief. It's deep grief. It's deep, it's depressive energy, mirroring guilt. Magician in reverse with the Five of Swords. Is this 5 or 7? No, it's the 5. It's interesting. I thought it was the 7. That's total manipulation by ego. Ego-driven manipulation. 100% that has caused you this kind of distress, this kind of sadness, this kind of grief, this kind of anxiety, this kind of depression. Yeah, these are very intense cards. This King of Cups is helping you to let go of this. This is old shit, guys. This is old shit. This is what has been getting in the way of really like 100% nurturing your passion, your desire, your calling. This feels like being beaten down over and over and over and over again by the antics of humanity. That's what this feels like to me. That's what this feels like. Over and over and over, being like having to be exposed to narcissists, manipulative people, selfish people, people who are controlling, people who are manipulative, people who are just ill-intended, out to take advantage for their own self-preservation. And it's just over and over. And the world, even the world in reverse was feeling like that, like a never-ending cycle of just experiencing this repeatedly, right? And what did it cause you? Despair. I mean, that's honestly what that is. That's despair, that's hopelessness, it's grief, it's loss, it's always losing, always losing, always losing. This King of Cups is helping you move through this. I keep getting it's the information they give to you, or the information that like comes to you because you deal with them. There's something magic about this person. I feel like they've been sent your way, or they're being dropped on your path to do this. Wow. I want to look more at justice. Or do I want to look at the King of Cups? Ow. Jesus. Ooh, gave myself a crack. I want to look at the King of Cups. Remember, King of Cups can be female. It doesn't have to be a man. But it's someone who's full of a lot of love and a lot of compassion and a lot of understanding. Tell me about the King of Cups. Privileged lady. That they're looking at the Queen of Pentacles. They're looking at you. I always consider this to be my collective because privileged lady is like, they're not the average person. Like in the deck, it's actually explained to be like, they're very independent. They're not like, they don't live the average life. None of you live the average life, right? I always look at this as my collective. Funny that card came out so fast. So they see you. They see that you're privileged, that you're spiritually privileged. They see that. Oh yeah, she was in the gazebo reading. Yeah, they see that. With the gazebo right behind her, literally. Tell me more about this King of Cups. Mature man. Like I said, this person's very mature. So it's funny I said that literally, and we get the mature man card. So they see you. This person has maturity about them, spiritually, emotionally, all that things, and they see you for the beautiful light that you are. There could be an age difference here. There could be. Interesting. Compass. That's like North Node heading in the right direction card. It's a destiny card. Tell me more about the King of Cups. Ooh, journey with the Ten of Swords being there. They see the World card in reverse. They see that you've kind of been in an endless cycle of something. They see the kind of like fear and anxiety you're carrying around from certain. It's almost like they're really psychic or something. They're magic. They're magic. They see what you've been through. They clearly see what you've been through. The ship can also imply travel. Travel, movement. Like I said, I was feeling some of that travel energy for a lot of people. But they see that you're very close to the end of a cycle. They may be too. You might be meeting this person at in divine timing, where they're at the end of a cycle and you're supposed to be, or you are at the end of a cycle and they're helping you to push through. But they see you. They see you. Tell me about the King of Cups. Great fortune, abundance. Abundance, things going in your favor, essentially justice. Main female. That's weird. Why is main female here? Normally, I don't look at the main female as the same as privileged lady. I usually look at them as two very different individuals. I think they're seeing your elevation. You know what? Yeah. So remember I was getting the perception thing, right? Where people misjudged you. People couldn't see your light. Main female is like, it's not to knock the card, but main female is kind of like an average, right? Average individual, average person, when really you're this. When really you're this. People might have misjudged you and just thought, oh, they're just lucky, or they're just this, or they're just that, or literally like downplayed you, downplayed your value, downplayed your worth. But this person sees you, and they may even see that you're not just a main female. You're something much more than that. Some of you, it's about the fact that you are going through a period of growth, that you are ending a cycle, you're opening a new one, the evolution of you. They may also be seeing that. There's also what I'm saying. Some of you, this person is like, they've been around, but you haven't been aware of them. But they've been in your environment, and you just don't think about them a lot. You may even be very far from them with the fact that the ship is here as well. If this is a romantic connection, it seems like this King of Cups, the cycle they're getting out of is dealing with another individual, but they see how special you are. Anything else with the King of Cups? Some of you guys, is actually the sweet thing is like, some of you guys, I'm almost getting like a fatherly energy. Or maybe you and a parent have been growing, evolving, and they're seeing that, and it's almost like they're helping to release this for you, because some of you need the closure of a parent or a closure of a father. Some of you is just this person who's bringing that fatherly energy up, that fatherly archetype up to help you release from this. Some of you guys have gotten into these patterns because of a father figure. Tell me more about the King of Cups. A lot of ways this is coming out. Tell me more about the King of Cups. Courthouse. This is official. This card and the adjudication card, if I'm like looking at a spiritual perspective on a reading, if either of those cards come out, to me it's like council has decided. Council's decided. But this also could literally be like courthouse, legal paperwork, that sort of deal. If this King of Cups has been dealing with somebody, it's ending. It's officially ending with the ship card, which can speak of endings, and courthouse being official, dealing with that person while they have their eyes on you. But I do feel more so like there's some sort of spiritual intervention here. Things are being decided, things are being handled, and here is a King of Cups to help you through that, to help you clear this out, to really close out a cycle and enter this new one. Okay? It's more so about you than them. No matter what's going on with them, this is about you and how they're really helping you. Overall, we have poverty. Oh my God, how funny. Look, and then adjudication. Intervention. Whoa, with distant horizons. Remember we got the ship? Look, ship in the background. Distant horizons is a card where it can be about like fantasy or something that's really far away or something that you're trying to manifest. But I feel, again, spiritual intervention, spiritual intervention, spiritual intervention. The poverty card being over the King of Cups. Like I said, I think this King of Cups is going through something. I think they're definitely going through an ending of their own. I think they're in kind of a weird spot. They might not even tell you that. They might not tell you any of that. It's like they're just coming in wanting to be the mature man to the privileged lady. That's their focus. To be the mature man to the privileged lady. Almost like they want to support you. They want to maybe teach you. They want to surround you in a protective kind of like masculine fatherly energy. That's what this person wants to do. Even if they're female, they might just want to show up and be very parental in a loving way, no matter what they're going through on their end. Wow. Yeah, I feel like spirit is all over this. Keep in mind, King of Cups can be older. That maturity thing keeps coming through. There could be an age gap here. Yeah. Anyway, very interesting. All right, guys, I'm gonna bounce. I've been sweating for like the last hour. But yeah, powerful reads. Powerful reads with this full moon Virgo. I don't even know what to title this. Yeah, I don't know what to title this. Thank you, but it's not me. I only wish it was. Hey, you never know. Guys, you never know. You never know. You never know. Especially in times like this where there's a lot of unpredictability happening. You never know. I like this energy. I like this King Cups energy. All right, guys. I'm going to bounce. Thanks again for coming out. And thank you also for being patient. I was getting part 1 and part 2 and part 3 of the weeklies up. Can't believe I had to do 3 parts this time. Thanks, Island Turtle, for all your different ways of communicating messages with us tonight. Oh, yeah, no problem. No, that was all about my profile pic. LOL. Thank you, Clyde. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, guys. Hold on. Shit, did I? I'm going to be late. I totally forgot. I have like 10 minutes to get ready for something. All right, guys. I really got to go. Take care. See you guys soon.